Here's a reality check. During the holiday season, that retail worker you're getting impatient with has probably been on their feet for 6 hours straight. They've dealt with dozens, maybe hundreds of customers already. They've been yelled at, threatened, and belittled. They've missed their break because the store is too busy. They're doing their absolute best to help everyone, and your impatience isn't making them move any faster. It's making their day harder. Welcome to the Kindness Extremist podcast. I'm your host, Shola Richards, aka Brother Teresa. I've spoken to tens of thousands of people all over the world about the importance of kindness. And I am obsessed with how we can bring more kindness into our daily lives and restore balance to a deeply unbalanced world. Every episode, I'll give you 3 practical strategies to create a kinder world, and I'll do it in 30 minutes or less. No fluff, just valuable, actionable content that you can implement in your life immediately after listening to help you actively create a kinder world. There's no time to waste. Let's dive in. What's up, my friend? Welcome back to episode 37 of the Kindness Extremist podcast. I'm your host, Shola Richards, aka Brother Teresa. Okay, you have no idea how pumped I am to record this particular episode. You might not know this about me, but I have a long history of working in customer service, and later in my life, I spent many years as a customer service trainer. So I am ridiculously passionate about the customer service industry. And one of my biggest frustrations is how rude, entitled, and how unkind some customers can be nowadays. So in this episode, I plan on addressing this pesky issue once and for all. Specifically, today, I'm talking about something that affects every single one of us during the holiday season: how we show up as customers. Look, I know what you might be thinking. Shola, it's the holidays. I'm stressed. The stores are packed and everything's sold out. And I just watched someone grab the last toy my kid wanted right in front of me. You want me to be kind now? Yeah, I do, especially now. Because here's what I know after years of working in customer service and training thousands of service professionals. The holiday season brings out both the absolute best and the absolute worst in humanity. And the difference between those two extremes, it comes down to one simple choice: whether we see the person behind the counter as a human being or an obstacle to getting what we want. So today, I'm going to share with you 3 powerful strategies that will transform you into what I like to call an epic customer. The kind of person who radiates kindness that retail workers will actually look forward to serving even during the chaos of the holiday shopping season. And here's the thing, these aren't just feel-good platitudes. These are practical, actionable strategies that will not only make someone's day a little bit better, but will fundamentally change your own holiday experience. So buckle up, my friend. Over the next few minutes, we're going to revolutionize how you show up in every store, restaurant, and every customer service interaction this holiday season, and ideally beyond. Ready? Let's do this. I want to start with a story that happened to me last month. I was in the TSA line at LAX airport on my way to a speaking event, and a woman who was ahead of me in line just started berating the TSA agent about how slow moving the lines were. As a reminder, this was during the government shutdown, which meant that not only was the TSA crew severely understaffed, but the few angelic souls who decided to show up to deal with this insanity were doing so without getting paid. Somehow, this particular woman didn't get that memo, and she decided that the best way to handle her frustration with the slow-moving TSA line was to question this young woman's intelligence, suggesting that she was too stupid to understand basic customer service. I watched this TSA agent's face. I saw her eyes well up with tears that she was fighting desperately to hold back. And in that moment, I saw something that too many customers miss: a human being. Not a uniform, not a name tag, not a representative of a corporate entity, a person. Someone's daughter, maybe someone's mother. And in this particular case, someone who wasn't even getting paid to stand there and absorb this verbal assault without falling apart. But here's what most people don't realize, and this is critical. Many of the customer service professionals you encounter are highly intelligent, educated individuals who have chosen to be in service roles because they genuinely care about helping people. I know retail workers with master's degrees. I know restaurant servers working their way through medical school. I know department store employees who speak 4 languages. But even if they didn't have those credentials, who in the hell cares? Since when did someone's job determine their worth as a human being? Since when did it become acceptable to treat someone as less than because they're wearing a uniform or standing on the other side of a cash register? During my years as a customer service trainer, I met brilliant people in these roles, people who could solve complex problems, who had emotional intelligence that would put most executives to shame, and who had the patience of saints and the memory of elephants. They weren't in these jobs because they couldn't do anything else. They were there because they were passionate about serving others. But there's another piece to this that we need to discuss, and it's about personal responsibility. When you walk into a store this holiday season, you're not checking your humanity at the door. You're not suddenly absolved of basic social responsibilities because you're now a customer. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people use store shelves as their personal trash cans during the holidays. Gift wrap remnants stuffed behind products, empty Starbucks cups balanced on clothing racks, food wrappers dropped in the middle of aisles. And the worst part, when confronted, these people often say, well, it's their job to clean this up. No, absolutely not. No, keeping the store clean, sure, it's part of the employee's job, but you know what else is part of their job during the holidays? Helping hundreds of other customers to find what they need, restocking empty shelves, processing returns, dealing with inventory issues, managing long lines. And now, on top of all that, they have to clean up after grown adults who apparently never learned how to clean up our own messes. What? So here's the truth bomb for you. Every piece of trash that you leave behind, every item you don't put back where you found it, every mess that you create, that's time that's taken away from an employee helping another customer. That could be you who's waiting longer in line. That could be the item that you need not being restocked in time. Your laziness has a ripple effect. Many years ago, I remember shopping during one particularly difficult Black Friday. I saw a customer who tried on at least 15 different coats and left every single one of them in a pile on the dressing room floor. It probably took the store employee who was working in that section at least 30 minutes to properly hang and return all those coats to their correct location. 30 minutes! When the line at the register was growing longer and longer, other customers were getting increasingly frustrated because they were understaffed. But the truth was they weren't understaffed. They were busy cleaning up after people who couldn't be bothered to hang a coat back up on a hanger. So here's the first kindness strategy of the episode. Before every interaction this holiday season, I want you to do what I lovingly call the humanity check. It takes 3 seconds and it will revolutionize your customer experience. First, make eye contact with the person serving you. Real eye contact, not that glazed over looking through them nonsense, but actual human connection. Second, use their name. If they're wearing a name tag, say, hi, Jessica, instead of launching straight into, hey, where are your phone cases? It seems like a small thing, but immediately establish that you see them as a person, not a kiosk. And third, take responsibility for your presence in their space. If you pick something up, put it back where you found it. If you make a mess, clean it up. If you're unsure where something goes, ask. Treat the retail space like you would treat a friend's home, with respect and with consideration. And here's the bonus level for y'all, the real ones here. If you see another customer treating an employee poorly, you don't have to be a hero, but you can be human. After the difficult customer leaves, a simple, hey, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that. If you do that to the employee, that could be the difference between them going home in tears or going home with a reminder that not all customers are self-absorbed and awful. Remember, behind every name tag is a human being who's probably working extra hours during the holidays, dealing with difficult people all day, standing on their feet for 8-hour shifts and still trying to maintain a smile. The absolute least that we can do is treat them with the dignity, respect, and kindness that every human being deserves. So let me paint a picture for you. It's December 23rd. The mall parking lot looks like an apocalypse. You've been to 4 stores looking for that one specific toy that your nephew wants, and you finally find it. But the line to check out wraps around the entire store. You've been waiting for 20 minutes. The person in front of you has a price check that's taking forever. The baby behind you is screaming. And then, of course, the register crashes. This is the moment, fam. This is where you get to decide what kind of person you're going to be. I've seen grown adults have complete meltdowns in these situations. Grown adults screaming at teenage cashiers. Grown adults who are demanding to speak to managers who are already trying to put out fires all over the store. Grown adults threatening to sue because their wait time exceeded their patience threshold. Grown adults making scenes that embarrass their own children. Here's what people don't understand. Their tantrum won't make the register work faster. Their yelling won't magically produce more staff. Their threats will not bend the space-time continuum to get them out of the store any quicker. The only thing their behavior accomplishes is making an already stressful situation exponentially worse for everyone involved, including for themselves. So you want to know what actually gets you better service? Wait for it. Just wait for it. Kindness, patience, understanding, respect. You know, the stuff that the holiday season is supposed to be about. A couple years ago, I was flying home for the holidays and our flight was canceled due to weather. The gate agent was getting absolutely obliterated, just destroyed by angry passengers. People were screaming at her as if she personally controlled the weather patterns. I watched her hand shake as she tried to rebook flights. When it was my turn to reach her, I said, "This must be an incredibly hard day for you. How are you holding up?" She literally stopped typing and looked at me in shock. We had a brief human interaction where she admitted that this was her first holiday season working for the airline and she was wondering if she made a terrible mistake. Here's what happened next. She spent extra time finding me not just any flight, but a better flight. She moved me to a seat with extra leg room, not because I was special, but because I was possibly the first person in hours who had treated her like a human being instead of a punching bag. But let's talk about another crucial aspect of grace under pressure. Understanding that you're not the only customer in existence. I know this might come as a shock to some people, but when you walk into a store or a restaurant or any business, you are entering a shared space where other human beings also have needs, wants, and probably their own holiday stress to deal with. You are not the only person waiting in line. Your time is not more valuable than everyone else's. Your needs are not more urgent than the person who got there before you. And interrupting an employee who's helping another customer because you just have a quick question is not just rude, it's borderline narcissistic. I once witnessed a man literally push past other customers to get to the electronics counter, claiming he was in a hurry and needed to be helped immediately. The employee politely informed him that there was a line. And this man, again, a grown adult, actually said, "Do you know who the hell I am?" Buddy, look, no one knows who you are, but we know what you are. Someone who thinks that the normal rules of society don't apply to you because they're inconvenient. My guy, please do us a favor and grow up immediately. Here's a reality check. During the holiday season, that retail worker you're getting impatient with has probably been on their feet for 6 hours straight. They've dealt with dozens, maybe hundreds of customers already. They've been yelled at, threatened, and belittled. They've missed their break because the store is too busy. They're doing their absolute best to help everyone, and your impatience isn't making them move any faster. It's making their day harder. And can we just talk about closing time for a minute? The store closes at 9 p.m. That doesn't mean that you can stroll in at 8:57 p.m. and leisurely browse for the next 45 minutes. When you do that, you're not just keeping the employees from going home, you're keeping them from their families during the holiday season. You're forcing parents to miss bedtime with their kids. You're making people miss their last bus home. You're just being selfish, plain and simple. I worked in retail in college, and one of my former coworkers who worked the Christmas Eve shift shared with me an incredibly annoying story about a customer who came in 5 minutes before closing and stayed for an hour. An hour on Christmas Eve. Our manager couldn't let him leave because he couldn't leave a customer in the store alone. So this poor guy, my buddy, missed dinner with his family. He missed his traditional Christmas Eve movie, all because someone couldn't be bothered to respect the store's closing time. Listen, I get it. Sometimes you genuinely need to get something at the last minute. Life happens, but there's a way to handle that with grace and with kindness. You run in, you acknowledge the situation. "Hey, I know you're about to close. I'm so sorry. I just need to grab one thing. I'll be super quick." And then you are actually being quick. You don't just browse. You don't just, "Well, I'm here. Might as well look around." No, you get what you need and then you get the hell out. So here is the second kindness strategy of the episode. When things go wrong this holiday season, and they will, I want you to remember the 3R response. Recognize, relate, and reframe. First, let's talk about recognize. Recognize the situation for what it actually is. Is this a crisis? Like, really, is it a crisis or is it an inconvenience? Is the person you're about to unleash on actually responsible for the problem, or are they just the nearest target? Will getting angry actually solve anything, or will it just make you look like a jerk? Be honest with yourself. Second, relate to the human being in front of you. That employee dealing with a broken cash register, I promise you that they're way more stressed about that situation than you are. They have to face every angry customer while trying to fix a problem that they didn't create. Put yourself in their shoes just for 10 seconds. How would you want to be treated if you were them? And then third, reframe the situation. Instead of, "This is ruining my day," try, "Hey, this is a chance to practice patience." Instead of saying, "This employee is incompetent," try saying, "This person is doing their best in a difficult situation." Instead of, "I don't have time for this," try, "Everyone here is trying to get through the holidays just like me." Here's a practical example. The item you wanted is out of stock. So instead of demanding that they check in the back, and trust me, as a former retail employee, we've already checked, so stop asking that, or accusing them of hiding inventory or threatening to never shop there again, just try this instead. "Hey, I understand this is a really popular item. Could you suggest something similar or let me know when you might have it back in stock?" See how easy that is? Simple, human, and effective. And here's what happens when you respond with grace. You become the customer that employees actually want to help. You become the bright spot in their difficult day. And often you'll find that they'll go above and beyond for you, not because they have to, but because you treated them with respect and they want to return that same courtesy. Remember, the holiday season is stressful for everyone. The difference between an epic customer and everyone else is how they handle that stress. So please choose grace, choose kindness, choose patience, choose to be the person who makes things better, not worse. Hey, fellow kindness extremists, it's me, Shola. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, if you're mowing what I'm growing, if you're smelling what I'm stepping in. Okay, I'll stop. If you're enjoying what you're listening to so far, I would love it if you would take a moment to hit the subscribe button and leave a rating and a review. Those incredibly kind acts go so far in helping me to reach as many people as possible who will join the movement to actively create a kinder world. I appreciate you so much, my friend. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Now I want to talk about something that might be the most powerful tool in your epic customer arsenal. And it's something that costs you absolutely nothing, but can transform someone's entire holiday season. I'm talking about the simple act of recognizing exceptional service. Sarah was a barista at a coffee shop that I used to frequent, and during the holiday season, this place was an absolute madhouse. I'm talking insanity. Lines out the door, mobile orders backing up, under-caffeinated customers getting increasingly cranky about their wait times. But Sarah, yes, Sarah remembered everyone's name. She'd ask you about your kids. She'd remember that you were stressed about a work presentation and follow up days later to ask how it went. One particularly insane December morning, I remember watching Sarah handle 3 different difficult customers in a row with such grace that it was almost artistic. One man was furious about his drink being made wrong, and it wasn't. He ordered it wrong. Second was a woman berating her about the prices as if Sarah personally set them herself. And a third customer was on his phone rudely gesturing at Sarah while carrying on his important conversation. Through it all, Sarah maintained her composure, her smile, and her humanity. It was amazing. She fixed what could be fixed, apologized for things that weren't even her fault, and most of all, she just kept the line moving. When I got to the counter, I did something that took me, maybe 3 minutes at most, but changed everything. I asked to speak to her manager. Sarah's face went pale. She thought she was in so much trouble. But when the manager came over, I just said, hey, listen, I need to make sure that you understand this. Sarah is extraordinary. I want you to handle 3 incredible, difficult situations with grace and with professionalism. She makes me want to come back to this coffee shop, even when it's slammed like this. She deserves recognition. The manager's face lit up. Sarah's eyes filled with tears, like the good type of tears. And she told me something I'll never forget. In the 3 years I've worked here, you were the first customer who's ever asked to speak to my manager to say something positive. The first in 3 years. Think about that for a moment. This woman has probably served thousands of customers, had gone above and beyond countless times, and been the bright spot in so many people's mornings, and no one had taken 3 minutes to formally recognize it. Here's what most people don't understand. Retail workers, especially during the holidays, are running on fumes. They're exhausted. They're dealing with angry customers, impossible demands, and the pressure of metrics and sales goals. They're often working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. And they're doing all of this, while being treated less than human by a significant portion of their customers. A single moment of genuine appreciation, just a single moment, can be the difference between them going home defeated or going home feeling valued. It can be the difference between them quitting mid-season or sticking it out. It can literally change the trajectory of their entire holiday experience. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think appreciation means saying thank you. Don't get me wrong, thank you is important, but during the holidays, when these workers are hearing it or not hearing it hundreds of times a day, a rote thank you becomes like white noise. Real appreciation, epic customer appreciation, is specific and actionable. And for more on this, I highly recommend checking out episode 23 of this podcast where I laid it out in painstaking detail. So instead of saying thanks, try saying, thank you for your patience in explaining this return policy. I know you probably had to explain it 100 times a day. Or instead of just saying, great service, try, the way you handle that situation with a difficult customer ahead of me was so professional and so impressive, I was just in awe. Or instead of saying, you're awesome, try saying, your positive attitude, despite how busy it is, makes this chaos so much more bearable. But here's the real power move, the real flex, and I cannot emphasize this enough. When someone provides exceptional service, especially during the holidays, tell someone who matters. Ask for a manager and tell them specifically what the employee did well. Write a letter to corporate and mention the employee by name. Go online and leave a detailed positive review mentioning the specific person who helped you. Post on social media and tag the company. I know what some people might be thinking. Shola, I don't have time for all that. What, really? You don't have time to spend 3 minutes potentially changing someone's life? You don't have 5 minutes to write a review that could lead to someone getting a raise or a promotion? Come on, man. Strangely, the same people who can't seem to find time to be kind always seem to find the time to be an insufferable jerk. It's funny how that works. Anyway, more importantly, let me tell you what happens when you actually do take the time to formally recognize exceptional service. First, it goes in the employee's file, so when review time comes around, when promotions are being considered, your feedback matters. Second, it boosts morale, not just for the employee, but for the entire team. Managers share positive feedback. It gets posted in break rooms, reminds everyone why they do this difficult work. Third, it creates a ripple effect. That employee you recognize, they're more likely to go above and beyond for the next customer. They're more likely to come to work with a positive attitude. They're more likely to stay in a job where they feel valued. You can make all of that happen with less than 5 minutes of your time. So here's a third kind of strategy of the episode. I want you to commit to this for the rest of the holiday season and beyond. Every time you receive exceptional service, amplify your appreciation using what I call the 3-tell method. It's very simple. First, tell the person directly. Look them in the eye and give them specific, genuine appreciation for what they just did. Not just good job, but the way you remember my usual order, even though you haven't seen me in weeks, makes my entire morning better. Second, tell their supervisor. This doesn't have to be a big production. A simple, hey, I just want you to know that Adam went above and beyond to help me find what I needed. He's a real asset to your team. Takes 30 seconds, but can impact their entire career. Third, tell the world. Leave that online review, post on social media, send that email to corporate. In our digital age, these things matter more than ever. A Yelp review mentioning an employee by name can lead to bonuses. A social media post tagging the company can lead to recognition programs. An email to corporate can lead to Employee of the Month awards. But let me be clear about something. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending bad service doesn't exist. If you genuinely receive bad service, you have every right to address it appropriately. But here's the thing, and I want you to remember this. Most bad service during the holidays isn't actually bad service. It's overwhelmed people doing their best under impossible circumstances. That cashier who seems unfriendly, she might be on hour 10 of her shift. That server who forgot your extra sauce, he might be covering twice as many tables as usual because 2 people called out sick. That customer service rep who just put you on hold, she might be simultaneously handling 3 different systems while training a seasonal employee. So before you complain, just ask yourself this. Is this person being malicious or are they overwhelmed? Is this a character issue or a circumstance issue? Is my complaint going to improve anything or is this going to make someone's terrible day even worse? My ask of you is to take a beat, answer those questions thoughtfully, and make the choice that will bring us closer to creating a kinder world. My friend, here's what I know to be true. The holiday season will bring out whoever you really are. When the pressure's on, when the lines are long, when things go wrong, that's when your true character shows up. You can either be part of the problem or part of the solution. You either add to the chaos or be an island of calm in the storm. You can either make someone's job harder or make their day better. Being an epic customer isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about remembering that every interaction is an opportunity to demonstrate that kindness isn't weakness. It's strength. It takes strength to maintain composure when you're frustrated. It takes strength to see humanity in others when you're stressed. It takes strength to take an extra minute to show appreciation when you're in a hurry. These 3 strategies that we talked about today, the humanity check, the 3R response, and the 3-tell method, these aren't just holiday tips. These are life skills. These are choices that define who we are as human beings. Because here's the real secret. When you choose to be an epic customer, you're not just making someone else's day better. You're making your own experience better. You're reducing your own stress. You're creating positive interactions that actually energize you instead of draining you. You're modeling behavior for your children, for your friends, for everyone around you. And I want to leave you with one final thought. Every retail worker you encounter this holiday season is someone's family. There's someone's parent trying to provide a special holiday for their own kids. There's someone's child working to help pay for college. There's someone's partner picking up extra shifts to afford that special gift. They're not NPCs in your holiday shopping game. They're not obstacles between you and your purchases. They're human beings doing difficult work during the most challenging time of the year. So this holiday season, I'm challenging you to be radically kind. Yes, a kindness extremist. Be shockingly patient. Be unexpectedly appreciative. Be the customer that retail workers tell stories about, the good kind of stories. Be the person who makes someone's shift better, not worse. Be the light in someone's difficult day, because here's what I promise you. The kindness that you put out there will come back to you. Maybe not immediately, maybe not from the same source, but it will come back. Trust. The universe has a really interesting way of rewarding those people who choose to make it better. So go out there and be epic. Show the world that kindness isn't just for greeting cards or for holiday movies. It's for real life. And yes, real life doesn't stop just because you're out there shopping. This is your host, Shola Richards, aka Brother Teresa, and you now know that kindness can't be weak because you just experienced the strength of the Kindness Extremist podcast. Until next time, my friend, the journey to a kinder world continues. Thank you for listening to the Kindness Extremist podcast. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I have one favor to ask you. If you could kindly hit the subscribe button, leave a rating and a review, not only would that be incredibly kind, but by doing so, you're actively playing a role in growing this movement and ideally getting us one step closer to creating a kinder world. I hope to see you next week for another episode of the Kindness Extremist podcast. Bye for now.